the mode that wasn't picked earlier on. So I know that might have been a lot for those of you just tuning in, but just watch and you'll learn. We're underway.
This is the first game we'll be seeing a team go home and a team make it the whole way through. Up to this point, it's either been one or the other. This is the most vital game of the groups. We will be seeing the final team from this group make it into the playoffs. Will it be Endpoint? Will it be HEET?
What a story for HEET, making the final bracket into the playoffs, where I don't think a lot of people really gave them much hope, especially with the amount of talent that's here at this tournament. Endpoint already facing a little bit of pressure early on, forced out to the ball in the corner. Raziers and company trying to get set up, but they get pushed back as Endpoint still actually not able to get the clear out. HEET just diving forward in front of the box, and
opportunity.
The transition, actually a perfect bounce, and flips off the ball. Might have been a chance there for Endpoint.
Relating Wave's definitely the player we want to be watching. He was not selected for the twos in the first match we saw earlier today with Space Station. Wondering whether he's not feeling so confident today, and that shot there definitely something to be looking out for. But it is Archie, that player we always expect to come in and carry his teams in those moments where it's needed.
Endpoint right back in the blue half. Also getting the boost taken away from them, starting to get depleted in that department. And Faris went for the bounce shot, but well defended, and another clear for Endpoint.
A little bit of back and forth at this stage. Of course, the 3v3 being preferred for Endpoint, I should imagine. They've mentioned how 2s and 1s isn't game modes they've been putting a lot of time into. We mentioned Raziers on the other side being the 1v1 player to watch out for, and their 2v2 has been incredibly strong as well. So Endpoint really needs to be focusing on this 3v3 right now, as it could dictate the whole series.
We've also seen teams, when they go to the 2v2, a lot of teams been switching it up, but Relating Wave actually catching HEET out with an open net. Endpoint getting the first goal.
Yeah, just a misplay there. I think Parker missing the shot at point blank range, and Endpoint well aware of the counter-attack there. Metza looking to play bump upfield, opening up the freest goal of Relating Wave's tournament.
Nice work there from Metzanaris. Thought maybe it was caught out, didn't see on the back end of Metzanaris getting that last defender out. But for that 2v2, like I was saying earlier, we've seen teams like really switch it up. No team has really stuck to one duo, unless you're talking about a team like F16 or really F16 are probably the only ones. We've even seen Space Station switch it up with Arsenal playing 2v2. I'm curious if Endpoint do the same, because their 2v2 duo didn't work out against Space Station.
I think it's one of those where you choose what you think is your best duo and stick with it until it's not working, and then it gives you that ability to switch it out. And of course, Endpoint's didn't work, so they will potentially look to mix it up. But it's often that one player, and in this case it's Archie on Endpoint, who'll be dictating who he wants to have as his teammate to have the best result possible. Close range, Metza getting it away.
And he gets the clear as well, has the double lined up, almost nailed it. It was taken away. Endpoint gets set back up. They've done a great job keeping HEET off the board, and Archie puts another one in. Endpoint, a nice lead.
Yeah, Archie taking that for the side for himself, gets the boost off the ceiling, in full control of that ball, recognizes the mispositioning in defense, finds a gap through, uses that ceiling reset to send it to the far post.
Now HEET, to find a way to respond, they started out ultra aggressive, diving almost at every single touch in the blue half, trying to keep Endpoint off balance. It's almost worked a couple of times. You've seen Endpoint get a little starved on boost, but then doesn't matter when Endpoint get that one touch that gets the clear away from their rotation, and that's been the difference early on. But plenty of time for HEET to get set up here. Endpoint still hanging on defense. Relating Wave bailed out by Archie, and they're cleared out again.
We know Endpoint are a top 5 European team when it comes to threes, one of the only teams to consistently make it out of their region to the majors. And yet they're up against a team that's, barely scraped into the top 16 of Europe. Only recently in the spring split have we seen these players really making waves, and it was this format that favored them so much, the 1s and 2s. And that's why we really need to see Endpoint sweep the 3v3, as the 1s and 2s area is where HEET tend to favor their game plan.
That's where momentum could switch real quickly. So Endpoint want to make life difficult for HEET, but that's a great pass down to Parka, who hit it on the right side. Nice placement.
Yeah, that little drop down to the left there by Raziers. Beautiful, takes 2 players out of the game. Relating Wave unfortunately jumped with Archie, which gave Parker the small window of opportunity to shoot it. It had to be good, and it went top right.
And a small chance to get a tie game. Plenty of time on the clock to make it happen. HEET win the kickoff. Approach this from a corner. Endpoint, for the most part, besides that double commit, have been really difficult to break down their defensive structure. It's always had a fail-safe after fail-safe. And right there, it's been hard to get that 50 out. Endpoint get the clear, maybe another goal, there it is. Archie delivers another.
Wonderful communication there. Just from our point of view, couldn't tell whether Relating Wave was going to go for that ball or the bump. But of course, Archie knew the whole way. There was no attempt on the ball there. Coming in, cleanly taking the shot, confusing the defense. And that's the kind of synergy we expect to see out of a top 5 European team.
This is where HEET are going to be tested a little bit more. Endpoint, one of the tougher opponents that they've had to face in the tournament.
Ooh, kickoff goal.
There you go. Furi's picking up the kickoff goal and completely nullifying that 2-goal lead.
Yeah, something Endpoint tend to struggle with. They have a very aggressive kickoff style, the Chi coming in quite close, and if that ball pops out awkwardly, it could lead to a quick goal, and HEET do punish them for that, going up now, leaving 1 goal the difference, 1 minute left.
This time the kickoff goes Endpoint's way, shot right on target. Nice little dash to get back to that ball, and a little whifty on the ground. Love to see it. Endpoint forced back to their own half. A nice clear from HEET. But Endpoint really just re-kidding. They all needed boost. They all got boost. HEET constantly pushed back to the board. Not able to get those consecutive touches. There's a little control and a good midfield challenge. Puts Endpoint out. Had to reconfigure the rotation. But again, ball just boomed back to the other half, Greg. And is Endpoint content to just boom it until the time runs out?
Yeah, these situations are dangerous for Endpoint, but you can see Mets are still maintaining 40 boost, and that's really where that class comes in at the top level. Not wasting any boost in those moments can really stop the counterattack from forming, and it's going to be a run down the clock moment now. Final 10 seconds. All Endpoint needs to do is hold out now.
They get another clear. Wasted more time. No touch there. Up high again, Endpoint have this one in hand, unless HEET have some magic. They get a big clear, but there's Archie to kill it. Oh no, it's caught again. 0-second drill.
No
Here
way.
he comes off the ceiling, taken away across the corner. Archie diving in front, but it's still in play. HEET back around the corner. Sears pops it up. He had no boost to chase it. Endpoint finally kill it, and a scary moment ends with victory for Endpoint.
Great patience at the end there from Archie, but fair play to HEET to keep that up for that final moment. Only 1 goal the difference in the 3v3. We need to see a convincing victory from Endpoint across the board with 3s. So I'm sure HEET are feeling fine after that. They know they now get that momentum shift in their favor, going for the favorable game mode. I suspect we'll see 1s here to try and get them the confidence with Raziers, but equally 2s is a strong game mode for them, especially after what they saw with Endpoint against Space Station.
Yeah, I think both options are valid. You can save that 1v1, have it in your back pocket in case things go wrong in the next 3v3, or you can try to put Endpoint in the grave early, force that pressure, because it does not feel good going down 0-2 in the series every single moment. High pressure for them. I was impressed with HEET's ability to come back. It can be very easy to lose control of a game like Endpoint were trying to pull away.
And what we noticed with Juicers in the online qualifier, now HEET, obviously it's a slightly different roster, but 3s was their weakest area. They didn't tend to win 3s every single time, and it was very much the game mode they needed to win 1 of to make it through. It was always the final time they played 3s, the game 5, that they came through and clutched up with the 3v3. So they might lose the first 3v3, they might lose the second one, but they tend to have this ability to download their opponents in 3s. So right now, they're going to be focusing on this 1s, they're going to be focusing on the 2s, but never count them out of that final 3v3 once they've learned their opponent's style.
And 1s and 2s for other teams in this tournament has gotten them that edge. Even if you do have to play 3v3 games, those 1s and 2s games absolutely have made the difference. Will it make the difference here? For HEET, it is going to be 1v1. Raziers versus Relating Wave. We'll see how Relating Wave can take. What do you make of this matchup, Gregan?
See, Relating Wave is the inferior 1v1 player by quite a margin, but it's one of those hidden 1v1 players, Relating Wave. He has put a lot of work into his 1v1 ability, and a lot of people don't know about it. He grinds the ranked leaderboard, but it will be tough for him to come against a player with so much class, skill, and experience playing in high-pressure 1v1s.
Raziers just has immaculate control. A lot of the 1v1s he's played, even today, it's simple flicks, but he gets the catch so fast, and those flicks come out with a lot of speed. It can catch a defender off guard. It certainly caught many defenders off guard today. Here, just a testing flick, grabbing the boost as Relating Wave looks for a way out.
He's got a lot of boost and a good amount of control here. And this is really the difference between Razirs and most of his opponents we've seen so far. Is Razirs in space with the ball is dangerous. His opponents don't know what to do. And that's an example just there. Relating Wave giving up the ball for free. Oh, but there's so much creativity on the side of Razirs, looking like he's going to go high and just pulls out completely, letting that ball dribble its way in.
Relating Wave has to cover, what, 3 different options here? You think he can shoot that ball right center as he's underneath it, or he can drop it straight down? There really has to be patience, and sometimes you almost have to guess when he has that much space to do what he wants with the ball. That's a tough spot for Relating Wave to be in. Got to win on the kickoff, though, and might get one back. Nice shot there from Relating Wave on the side.
Give him some confidence here. A strong kickoff, definitely for sure. Gets the boost and then reads the attempted touch past him by Razirs. You know, this is something we see a lot out of the high-class 1v1 players. They are happy to take control of the ball on low boost, knowing the kinds of decisions you need to make at that level. But the problem is if they get hard red like Relating Wave just did there, it is a almost guaranteed goal on the counter-attack.
Razirs, well, his kickoff, I was watching earlier with Johnny Boy, watching Razirs, and he just was glowing about Razirs' kickoff ability and his ability to switch it up, read the opponent.
Ooh, good aggression.
Keep him on the rocks. It looks like Razirs was almost on the rocks. Relating Wave got the boost. This is looking like a good possession. You can keep the pressure up. Razirs doesn't have a lot of boost in the tank. Well, he just got the spawn and got the 50.
You say about boost, though, that is a strength of Relating Waves. He's not wasting a huge amount. You know, he's keeping it as high as possible. Will often catch his opponents off guard by keeping 20, 30, 40 in the tank. But it's these moments where it's so tough to defend against Razirs. Once he gets that dodge in the air, there's so many options he can take. And Relating Wave just not quite able to read at the last moment there.
I mean, as Relating Wave's coming back, Razirs knows that he has to go leave for boost. Gives himself a little bit of space. Doesn't give Relating Wave an easy cut in. Forces him, again, to have to cover those options as he goes to the air. Makes the shot too difficult for Relating Wave to save. It's a nice one off the bar, and Razirs takes it right away.
Control.
What a cut.
You can just see even there, like the difference between making a save and making a save and gaining possession. That's the real class Razirs is showing there. And this is an opportunity here for Relating Wave. Not quite getting the flip reset, but it works in his favor as it fakes out the defender. He goes low, gets the 50-50. Not quite what he intended, but it works out on this occasion.
Sometimes you take what you can get. Razirs coming off the side wall there ended up being completely in favor of Relating Wave, even if it isn't what he was going for. Razirs was in the perfect position for Relating Wave to go for that 50.
You can only get away with so many of those. You know,
probably only one against him.
Yeah. If you're not doing what you're intending to do when you get these outplays, it can often backfire when they go wrong. But on this occasion, the mistake from Razirs as he missed challenges Relating Wave, allowing him to push the ball down the line.
Yeah, I was hoping to bump Relating Wave off the ball. Would have allowed him to turn right back around and take a quick shot on the net. Play that usually works, but his car got tipped up as he flipped into him, and he wasn't able to really make contact on Relating Wave.
Ooh, both faking. Relating Wave quicker to react, and he's going to take control. Takes it to the right and takes the lead for endpoint.
I can hear it in my head. There are levels to this right now. One player tries to go for the fake. Usually when they go for the fake, they want to play the ball to the corner. You get the boost, you get to play it up the wall. But the best counter to that is to fake it yourself. And Relating Wave was just closer to the ball. Razirs had to respond.
Yeah, so Relating Wave going ahead for the first time here. And I definitely think Razirs has been the more convincing player, but sometimes all you need is good challenge game, good efficiency, and mistakes will come from your opponent. And the unorthodox nature of Relating Wave's 1v1 ability is giving him favorable situations. But on this occasion, the shot from Razirs just going wide, still got the pressure. He's going to send it central, and Wave's going to send it away.
Razirs saving his dodge, was not going to flip into that unless he knew he was going to get a solid 50 on it. And conserved his boost as well. Didn't need it. He's got that corner now. Excellent control there from Razirs.
Well, this is good boost control, though, from Relating Wave. He had 100. He's going to get the counter-attack here. This should be open for him.
Wow.
And that was just from the boost management. He was on 38 boost when it looked like he was on next to 0, which allowed him to race to that 100 boost, turn in for that challenge aggressively, and get the counter-attack, forcing Razirs away from the play. And now 5-3 for Relating Wave.
So much of 1v1 is trying to fake your opponent out, not just on a challenge, but also with, like you were saying, like how much boost you have. You're always looking at how your opponent is moving. What kind of options of attack or defense does he have? Relating Wave feigning how much boost he has. Razier's trying to work on that information, and oh, Razier's just stays right on the ground. No dodge needed.
I was about to say Razier's needs to start opening up some space for himself. He has looked the dominant player with space and possession. And right there, you can see the fear from Relating Wave, trying to close it down early, trying to catch his opponent off guard, but Razier's completely predicts it, takes it low towards the net, and that's going to be frustrating for Wave. He's done so much work to get in the lead, and it's instantly gone.
We'll play it back to the corner this time. I don't think he's very comfortable on the kickoff against Razier's. You can understand why. A much safer play to take that ball to the corner. But Razier's survived the initial attack here from Wave.
Another goal opportunity.
And bait him in. Didn't get him early enough as he wanted. Wave's going to get the clear back.
Yeah, you can just see those kind of shots. They create a lot of pressure. They put your defender out of position and opens up opportunities like that. A missed opportunity again from Razier's. A little bit of inaccuracy is plaguing him right now, and it's giving Relating Wave free possession back. And the possession is the key here for Relating Wave, as he's not going to hold it for long. And Razier's is going to finish this one off, putting it back to 5-5.
Oh my, this is turning into a match. Relating Wave able to get those counterattacks early on, got himself a lead, but then Wave, that's two challenges where he just kind of takes a poor angle at the ball, thinking he can swipe that ball quickly from Razier's, whip it back around. He doesn't want to give Razier's the ability to recover quickly on those touches. So taking that quick challenge angle could allow him to do that, but he's missed it twice.
You can just see there Archie warming up in free play, ready to come back in the 3v3. We said threes was the most important game mode here, as ones and twos would be near impossible. Relating Wave proving us wrong here as we are coming into the final minute. Razier's getting back into the lead, 6-5 to score.
Relating Wave getting baited up here a little bit by Razier's. Nice little pop-up in front. You see Wave as he turns across, trying to get up the wall, just kind of took himself out of position on the play. Razier's kind of got a freebie there.
Just a few poor spacing moments from Wave, and I think it's actually catching Razier's off guard early in this game because he wasn't expecting to have those opportunities, was missing out on shots, getting frustrated, taking a shot when it wasn't quite ready, where he's cottoned onto it now. He can see when those moments are coming, and he started punishing, keeping control of that ball, and a few safety goals here for Razier's could be useful. A great challenge, that's going to bobble off the crossbar. Razier's going to finish it off. Every goal now is going to sting for Relating Wave.
Not a bad idea here from Wave. You can squeeze that ball if you can get just a little lower on that challenge, but just had better momentum and better positioning behind the ball. Razier's might put this out of reach for Wave. There is some time left. See what he does on the kickoff.
Yeah, a few kickoffs have gone in favor of Relating Wave. This one, not so much. It's going to be Razier's coming in with possession and a bit of space. He's just going to waste some time, take this back. This is mature 1v1 gameplay.
He'll let Wave come up, says, you come challenge me in the corner. That's more time off on the clock. It does get the 50, but he's got to chase this down again. It gets demoed. Wave just needs to score with time. He's got to be quick about it. Sees the spawn. Goes for the shot, but Razier's quickly back on the spawn. Wave gets the rebound off the post and out. That's going to do it. Wave knows it, and HEET tie up the series. Their 1v1 king getting them the tie.
We've got to shout out Relating Wave, though. A strong performance from him. Unorthodox playstyle, something Razier's had to try and work out. And eventually at 5-3, when Razier's finally clicked on it, he recognized those small windows of opportunities where he had to do the simple stuff right and opened up goal after goal for him. And he did eventually win 7-5. But Relating Wave we'll have to be proud of that, right?
I think so, yeah, absolutely.
No expectation. I mean, he shouldn't be frustrated at that loss. Maybe the fact that he was ahead quite near the end, maybe that will plague him. But now we go back to 3v3, endpoints favorable game.
It's probably got to have him pretty nervy, knowing the type of opponent you're up against. There's still more than a minute and a half left. You're up by 2, and you're like, God, Razier's could score like 8 more goals. And I got to hold him to 2. And, I mean, that's just how strong he's been. Razier's continues to keep HEET in series. And now we go back to the 3v3. Greg, and where do you think HEET have to improve here? Because they started out really hot, really aggressive. It didn't really work. Endpoint had strong defense overall. How did they crack through that?
Well, I think Endpoint are known for their structure. You know, they have a solid game plan where each player works around the others. You know, they're very aggressive, charge down the player, get those bumps, and it opens up the space for simple team plays. On the other side, we've got a very mechanical team. We know they're mechanical. We see Razier's in the 3v3 before, where he's come out with some amazing plays. And I think what we need to see is more solo plays from HEET. Rather than going as a team trying to set up team passing plays, we need them to break down their opposition, grind them down a little bit more in the neutral game, and that'll open up opportunities for individuals to come in and finish it off.
Endpoint were free to just boom the ball down the other half of the field on almost every HEET attempt last time. So we'll see if HEET go a little more solo heavy this time, or if Endpoint get another quick strike saved. Archie already in the air, another pot shot, rebound goes straight down, pass in front to Archie, denied again, right off the side, in front of the net, redirect back, and that's a goal for HEET.
What a save, sending that so far down the pitch, off the back wall here from Archie's shot. Ooh. And you can see Parker landing from a previous attempted block. Excellent clear, right in the path of Parker. That's going to be the counter-attack Endpoint would hate to see. You know, they normally have such strong structure, but in that occasion, a passing play turned into an overcommit. And we see HEET go ahead.
Not bad ideas from Endpoint. Mets getting under on the reset. And man, it will never not be silly to me to watch Metsa go for those flip resets in that car. That's the most ridiculous car I've ever seen, and I love everything about it.
Yeah, mostly we see Octanes, FedEx, occasionally a Dominus or a Batmobile, but rarely do we see this car. I actually can't remember the name of it.
I'm not even going to attempt.
I did look it up at one point, but you know, you guys will know the car if you've played with it before. Not many of you will have. But obviously, Mets are a big fan of it. I think it has the Octane hitbox, so it is purely an aesthetic thing.
I'm sure no one in chat's asking what that decal is. Relating Wave gets the clear back over to Mets. And that's a perfect bounce for Wave, but it was denied. Archie in the air as well. Another non-touch. Off the side wall. HEET get a little bit of space, but it's Endpoint's ball. Sending it back to the orange, cut off. This time HEET getting in the middle of those passing lanes. Archie having to force his way through. But it's a little bit of a battle for Endpoint. Not having as easy as a time on those passing plays. Another one pinches up. HEET still in position on the third. They were just out of boost, but they all picked up canisters. Endpoint still somehow to push them back to the third.
HEET are charging down these attempts so frequently and getting there early, which is key to closing down a team synergistic playstyle, one with passes. If you can charge down a pass as a one player to take out two, it's a massive trade in your favor. I think we need to see a little bit more solo plays here from Endpoint, breaking them down and then ending with those bump plays, you know, the stuff that opens up space without actually going for the ball.
We're certainly going to need it with how well the net minding has been from HEET. Well-placed shots from Endpoint, but well played on the defensive end from HEET. They're still working by the midfield line. Endpoint starting to run out of resources, but Relating Wave denied. Again, the defense coming up big for HEET.
Just reading everything at this point. HEET, obviously a newer team to the higher level of Rocket League, but a very mechanical one, so they do have that ability on the interactions to come out on top. Just a little bit of chaos can be their downfall, but Endpoint right now not able to outplay the mechanics of these individuals as we see that ball go away. Faris just sending it wide.
You saw Faris almost hesitate for a second, thinking maybe it's going to bounce on the inside, bounce back into him, trying to keep himself in position for both options, but HEET haven't given up. Here comes another one off the backboard. Two touches, the change up, and it's bounced off the ramp. Still they're pressing, diving forward. They got another touch out. HEET continue to press. That one back over to the corner, and it's taken away. Faris couldn't quite get the 50, and Endpoint survive.
Archie going for that ball high in the air, 50-50s. It's going to go middle, Relating Wave beating the final defender in the middle of the pitch, but a backboard defender will send it away. Oh, the low fake Faris here going to be swatted away, and that's the teamwork we like to see from Endpoint, covering each other's gaps and making sure no one is left hanging alone.
Endpoint really got to keep their eye on Faris. Several times now, he's gotten through a defender, through a cheeky fake with his aerial play. Archie moves his way around. He's going to get a boost steal for his effort. Relating Wave next up. Two touches in front that actually took away the ball. Another demo. Here come HEET, but it's taken away with a beautiful touch from Metsonaris.
Metsonaris rarely fake challenges. You can see they're coming in with such momentum as the final player. If that goes wrong, that's a goal, but on this occasion, it does catch the player off guard, and HEET don't get the counter-attack. But there's 1 minute left here. HEET are still 1 goal up. An early lead has been maintained for this whole game. And this would be the most important game of the series, as we know 1s and 2s is in their favor, but 3s should be Endpoint's game mode. They need a goal now.
But HEET looking to make it unwinnable. Off the ceiling, no touch. Metsonaris just gets to the ball. He had no boost. Archie a little off the play. Both HEET players have to race back now as Endpoint get a few more tries at the ball. Archie gets the boost steal. Got the challenge, but Mets has to wait. Gets frozen on the third. Archie swings right back around. He's got Wave on the wing. Off the backboard. Shot! Goal!
off the ceiling. Metza teeing it up. What a first touch from Archie. Takes out the backboard defender. Relating Wave delays his shot attempt. The final defender comes lunging in, and that puts Endpoint back in the game.
And I feel like I'm about to sound like a cheese when I say that started the whole way back like 25 seconds ago when Archie pushed the ball into the orange half. He got that initial boost steal. Metza gets a crucial 50. Archie just turns right back around, sets all of that up right afterwards, and facilitated the tie game. And now they're gonna keep pressing. Metza taking the ball away back to the corner.
10 seconds left here. Metza Norris, the facilitator for this team, looking to do so once again. Relating Wave with a bit of space. Sets up Metza Norris. High off the backboard. Shot opportunity. Just sent wide.
It's still up.
It's still in the air.
Oh my goodness. Oh, he missed it. And HEET, they survive. We go to OT, Greg, and I thought that was in.
HEET just managing to get that one away at the final moment. Every shot coming from an awkward angle, so lacking the power needed to secure the goal. But Endpoint have finally awoken in this game, and it's surely them in the overtime. Metza sending it high and wide.
I thought maybe he would have had it, but it was so fast off the backboard. HEET, they don't get the counterattack. Not the best touch, but a demo might get Endpoint the chance to get the 50. Back in the corner, not a favorable bounce. Almost going disastrously there for Endpoint. Like you were saying earlier, losing here for Endpoint would almost spell disaster. Now they have to survive in overtime. They fought back, they got that game-tying goal. Almost won it at 0 seconds, but here come HEET in front of the box. Endpoint's defensive structure has to hold firm. The brick standing, but Endpoint continue to be battered. HEET trying to push.
Endpoint are one demo or one good touch away from conceding in that moment, but the reads from them as players of what's coming at them has allowed them to clear that ball away. But the interceptions in the midfield from HEET just to keep that ball in. The Endpoint half has been so key to keep this pressure on, but Endpoint, barred down and away, managed to escape.
HEET get the catch. Another go, but it's taken away over to the side wall. And HEET love to press on those 50s in the corner. Faris, no boosts. The rest of his team are kitted up. He just needed a 50. He didn't get one, but Parka just launching, again, testing that Endpoint backboard, which has been stalwart so far in this overtime. Now Endpoint, the other way, taken away again by Faris.
This ball is just bouncing around, neither team wanting to take any major risks. They know counterattacks have been so vital in this 3v3 game mode so far between the two. No one wants to overexert, no one wants to waste too much boost. People keeping their boost as high as possible. But at some point, someone's going to have to try something mechanical, something a bit riskier to open up some space for their team.
Archie got a good 50 in midfield. Might be a chance here as it's sent across. Metza up next. Killed the ball for Archie. Wave also waiting in midfield. That's a nice high ball by HEET. Forces Wave to wait, but he gets a great touch. Forcing the last man of HEET up. Feeling the pressure, Wave doesn't get a touch. Metza's next up. Here comes Metza off the back wall. Tough 50 to make it happen. Archie misses the ball. Relating Wave coming up, waiting, and he might get caught out. It gets pushed up, still in danger. Here come HEET. Shot way too light, and Metza plays it away.
Yeah, Metza just fading back on the far side of the pitch, able to read that play the whole way. A powerful shot there would have been unsavable, but it was a tough angle. And now we're going to see Endpoint trying to create some pressure here. The high touches from HEET have been excellent, able to beat out the Endpoint players and win those 50-50s, but a miss could be all it takes, and HEET win 2-1 in overtime.
Oh my goodness, HEET enacts capital punishment on Metza mistake, and Endpoint eliminated HEET to the playoffs.
Not yet. We got 2v2. I know we assumed. We assumed the 2v2 is likely to go in HEET's favor.
I was so hyped.
But we have said before this series, 3v3 has to go 3-0 for Endpoint. Otherwise, this HEET team is going to struggle in winning the series, because 1v1, 2v2, it's only 2 of the 5 games. So we do need to see now Endpoint steal a game back in 2v2 where they are the unfavored team.
I was just so excited that whole overtime. It felt like we played 2 Rocket League games, Gregan.
It did. I mean, we knew coming into this that 3v3 was vital for HEET, and they've just done it there. So the game is now in their favor. They go into this 2v2 as the favorites. Potentially, this is where we start to see that star power from Archie come out. Can he go into this game and really say, I need to win this now because my team needs me?
Does he pick Mets this time, or do you think he goes to Relating Wave? With how Relating Wave played in the ones, and honestly, with how Wave played overall in 3v3, for my mark, I think you got to pick Relating Wave here.
Well, I think off the back of their previous performance as a pair, I think you go, let's try a different one next time. And especially, I don't think it's healthy to make a rash decision just off that Metza mistake. But, you know, Metza did make a vital mistake, which lost them that overtime right there. So the confidence will be higher in Relating Wave, I assume.
Yeah, I mean, I think more so with just how he's performed overall in the series. Met's only one mistake from him. Obviously devastating to have your mistake be what loses the game. Not the series. Game number 4 underway, and it might be over after this 5 minutes. Can he continue to deliver in the ones and the twos? They took the ones, Raziers 7-5, and now Raziers and Parka trying to get it done and send Endpoint home.
Yeah, Relating Wave did get selected by Archie here. I wonder if that was Relating Wave saying, I can do it. You know, I played well in the 1v1, let me have a go at them. You know, these guys will have come across each other in ranks so much, and this is a very international tournament, but for the European teams, they are used to playing twos in the same lobby throughout that ranked leaderboard. All of these players grinders, and at this point, we'll see whether they can turn it into a high-pressure performance.
Sick attempt there from Relating Wave. Archie getting the challenge, got another 50. Relating Wave trying to crash the corner. He will at least steal the boost out. Crucial, because Parka now on small pad game. Sears nonplussed. With no boost, he's able to pressure Endpoint back to the corner. And that's all important in these fast 2v2 games, is who can force the other to waste all of their boosts faster. That's really what a lot of these come down to when it feels pretty even. You get the ball high and away. Can you force them to use their boost to get to the aerials? Can you have enough threats where Raziers pushes it downfield? Get a boost steal for his effort.
Good bump away there. Archie not getting the ball, but gets the player, and that's often enough. And bumps are such a vital part of twos, as you see this opportunity open up for Raziers off the back of a Parker bump. But unfortunately, Parker in that situation did have to retreat and get boost, so not able to clean up. But recovery speed is so important in 2v2. You need to be able to make touches that are not only threatening, but allow you to come back in and gain value off the ball with the boost steals, the bumps, and maybe sometimes even those little tip-ons.
Kind of like what Raziers did right there, using the neutral hop, get speed down to the ground faster, and then demo the player in the corner. They can get anything out of it, but it's just that threat. The fact that Raziers can go to that, his recoveries being so clean. 2 demos means no goal. It's pushed back out to the wall.
Raziers with space in the 1v1 is a scary prospect, and on this occasion, 2 players able to swat him away. The first one can not even have to worry about playing that ball. They can go for the bump, and that's what happens there. Archie now low on boost, has to defend against 2, and he gets bumped out of the way. Raziers gets the free goal.
Nice play there from Parka. Got the control, flicks it up, and makes himself the enforcer on the play. An excellent approach with where Archie was sitting. Easy decision to take to demo him out.
Yeah, Archie just driving in an odd direction. Not going to be able to defend the 2v1 very well there. Parker making it simple. Put it high, get rid of the defender. Opens up a free goal for Raziers, but a kickoff. A great place to come back, get a goal, as you see. Relating Wave now still with possession. Quickly closed down by Raziers. And we said this is so important for Endpoint now. They lose this, they are out of the tournament. They win it, they get one more chance at 3v3 where they are the favored team.
Good speed from Relating Wave, but he couldn't get to the touch. Forces Archie to come back. Actually, Archie managing boost very well on that opportunity. Now he's got a full tank to go forward. Got the reset, but couldn't get the power. HEET able to protect their boost as well. 50 just goes clean through. What a win from Raziers. Parker goes for the fake, but Archie able to respond, and now he gets the ball right back. He's got enough boost. Can't bump Parker out of the way. Parker doing great work, shuffling Archie out of the play. Yeah,
Parker really facilitating Raziers here, just coming in, disrupting that ball, opening up space for his teammate. That's all you need to do when you've got a 1v1 player on your team. And on this occasion, the patience from Raziers gets a shot on target. Archie clears it away, but Parker, as the second player, able to read that clear and keep that ball in. No threats here from Endpoint. They haven't seemed to look like they're going to score at any moment. A very neutral, heavy game going in favor of HEET on just one occasion. Endpoint need to find something to break this team down.
Archie also defending against that possible bump, trying to keep himself away from the path of the attacking car. Been able to defend that twice now. He's gotta have to expect it every time. Wave Get the favorable bounce. Raziers just gets in the way, wins the next 50. Wave forced back. Much a non-touch, and ooh, Archie. Maybe he didn't want that touch. Maybe he didn't think he had something there, but either way, it gives them control. And drop down, and Parka gets the 2-goal lead right in front of the box.
Yeah, that first touch off the wall, great to set up the flip reset. Relating Wave needed to get something on that ball to send it away as it left Archie flat-footed on the goal line. And the flip reset did nothing, and that was the hardest thing for Archie to read, is that ball bounced behind him, putting HEET up 2 goals. 1 minute remaining. 2v2, a very easy game to come back in. There's a lot of space for these players, especially around the kickoff. But this kickoff goes pretty neutral. It's going to be hard now for Endpoint. As another goal goes in. Raziers all the way along the pitch, and that's almost definitely going to secure it.
They are about to do it, Greg, and Endpoint in danger of being eliminated, and HEET continue this impressive lower bracket run and are starting to get some people talking. Raziers has certainly been a talk of the tournament. There's been several players that have been the talk of the tournament. Raziers has been one of those players. But Parka, like you said, a great facilitator. Endpoint trying to come back, but Relating Wave, I don't think it mattered how many flip resets or challenges he got there. Nobody was getting by Raziers on that play. 4 goals and a victory lap around the pitch.
Relating Wave trying everything he could there to find a goal quickly off the kickoff. They have to take risks at this point, and a 2-goal miss leads to the counter-attack goal for Raziers. And as you mentioned, one of the great 1v1 players in this tournament, but it's that versatility from some of these 1v1 players that makes them stand out. The ones who are able to compete in the 2s, the 3s, and really carry their teams and be so valuable. And this victory lap continues for HEET.
So now my question for you, Gregan, is on a scale of 1 to Falcons, what's the threat level of HEET going into the playoffs?
Well, they're an unknown entity. You know, we don't know what they're capable of fully in 3s because they're getting better as the tournament goes on. We know the 1's threat is there, not the most threatening of 1v1 players. We know their 2's gameplay is great, as you can see here. But it is that 3's that's getting better, the more experience they get. And we know that they are now going to be making it into that top 8 and being guaranteed a minimum of $95,000 on one of their first big tournaments in Rocket League history.
That's got to feel great. So it's like a 6 on the 1 to Falcons level, right?
Sorry, I should have given you a Scoville rating.
I need, yeah, exactly.
Very spicy.
Oh, you know what? How about yeah, 6. Raziers said it. There you go.
Yeah,
6 goals. Threat level 6.
Threat level 6. That is a scary threat level, and it is Raziers who is 5 of those 6 threats, as he has been the 1v1 monster, unbeaten so far. Relating Wave came close, but again, it was that 3v3 that defined the series. We knew 1s and 2s would go in favor of HEET, but we knew the 3s needed to be perfect from Endpoint. It was not. HEET will take it in match 4.
Threat level 7, just for good measure. HEET